Hello everybody and welcome to Innovation Spotlight 001. My name is Faisal Zir and I'm one of the technical directors at GSMA Foundry. GSMA Foundry is the innovation wing at the GSMA. I'm joined here today with my boss, Rich. Just so I say a few words. You're on mute.
Oh. Hi there.
There we go.
One of those things, isn't it, these days? So, hi there. My name's Rich Cockle. I'm the head of the GSMA's Innovation Foundry and also our connected communities. Really excited just to start doing these sessions, really, because we want to come together every month and, start to talk with some of the leading lights in innovation across the sector, help us understand what they're doing, what challenges they're facing, what their priorities are, and what their next steps are. Reason we've decided to do this in the GSMA is because we want to be able to showcase some really good innovation. It's sometimes perceived as a telco sector isn't one that innovates very well, and it takes years to be able to bring some of the innovation to market. But what we want to do through these podcasts, through these for the GSMA Foundry and everything that we're going to learn, is to very much demonstrate that this is an innovative sector. There is opportunity for investment. There are 700 mobile operators out there around the world, and they're all hunting for new innovation that they can take to market. So very much want to use this channel and also the Foundry as a whole as a pipeline to showcase that innovation.
That's it. We looked at what do we call this? It's not a webinar. It's more of a conversation. It's definitely. Talking to some of the leading lights, as we say. This is our first podcast in the series, so like, comment, share, and subscribe. I always wanted to say that. Join us on the journey. If you've got any questions, put them in the chat, and we'll be addressing them as we go through the session. Innovation Spotlight, now available on all digital platforms. Rich,
finally got to say it, mate. Well done. So, without further ado, I think we'll dive into our first topic. Generative AI and AI has been something that's fascinated me for a long time, but it wasn't until I went to visit Barcelona and got to meet the two people that we're going to get to speak to today that I really started to get the challenge that we're going to face with generative AI. We keep hearing about all of these new models coming out, GTP, and all of those where, the English language and a number of others are very, 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 well served. But that's not necessarily the same. And I was really shocked to hear there's over 7,000 languages around the world. So what is all of this generative AI going to mean for all of those different languages? So, that's what got me so excited about this project and why we wanted to drive this forward and take it into our sector. But without further ado, I think that's more than enough from me. I'd like to introduce Mariana and Albert from Barcelona Supercomputer to share with us more about what they're doing. So, hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
So maybe if you could just, Albert, give a quick introduction to yourself, and then Mariana.
I'm super happy to be here on this first conversation around these topics. I am the Artificial Intelligence and Language Technology Coordination and Development Manager here at the Barcelona Supercomputing Center. So I'm working with the business development and innovation team from Mariana, and also with the technical team and a little bit with the communications teams, trying to move all things forward.
Okay, so I'm Mariana Sainz. I'm also very happy to be here with you. I'm Director of Innovation and Business Development at BSC, and my job is trying to transfer all the technology and knowledge that the center develops to the business, and to have a real impact in the society with all the technologies that BSC develops.
Well, fantastic, and thanks so much for joining on this first edition of our, what hopefully we'll see every month now. So maybe a good place to start is, could you give us an overview of what you do at Barcelona Supercomputer? Maybe talk about some of those main objectives. And I know it's been around for nearly 20 years now. How has it evolved over that time period?
Yes, it's okay. So BSC, as the name says, it's placed in Barcelona. We are a supercomputing center, so we are one of the leading HPC centers in Europe, and we also are a multidisciplinary research center. We are developing research in computer science and all different fields of application of high performance computing and artificial intelligence. But we also are hosting an HPC and data management infrastructure. And we are now hosting this big supercomputer, Mare Nostrum 5, which is one of the world powerful AI development platforms at the service of the European and international research community. So BSC was created in 2005, and we are really so we have the strong commitment of our trustees because they are the ones that have been deploying and investing in all this in the center and in this technology. But also we are very strong and on raise competitive funds coming from private but also public institutions, and this is why we grow. At the beginning, we were only 60 people, but now we are more than 1,000 people working in the center.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that kind of struck me is the scale of the operation that BSC have got. You mentioned Mare Nostrum is one of the most powerful in Europe. Can you tell us more about capabilities and some of the projects that you guys are working on there?
Yes, so Mare Nostrum 5 has been already inaugurated in December 2023, and this is the 5th edition of our computer. So we used to have Mare Nostrum 1, 2, 3, 4, and now it's 5, and it has been in November 2023 has been recognized as the only HPC infrastructure with 2 entries in the world's 20 most supercomputers. Okay, so the most powerful computers in the world. So we have an acceleration partition that it's the one composed by GPUs, and it has reached the number 8 on the top list. So which means that it's one of the most powerful and versatile machines for artificial intelligence. And on the other side, you have also the general purpose machines, which also are in the 20 position of the ranking. Okay, so with this kind of computation, we are facing and make progress with great challenges in science, such as digital twins to tackle climate change, or to curing diseases, for example, or now to train big language models, such the ones that we are going to explain today. So it's also a machine that at the end, what we want is not only to do research, but also to boost innovation and strength and to produce at the end to strengthen the business sector with the application of all these technologies.
Yeah, actually, as we speak, we are training some of the large language models that Mariana was mentioning. So one of the first big projects using around 75% of the Mare Nostrum 5 capacity are the development of a 7 billion and 14 billion parameters large language models based on GPT-3 architecture, trained from scratch using around 7 trillion tokens.
So when we talk tokens, because I hear this tokens everywhere, right? What does tokens mean?
Yeah, it's a way that the language is split usually into words for like the human comprehension, but in the context of language models, the unit that we split all these sentences are tokens, which sometimes are a word, sometimes they're half a word, sometimes are a combination of that. But we can talk about words, but this is slightly different than a word. And in this case, the model we are training on these 7 trillion tokens, we will be supporting 36 languages, including the 24 official, the European Union, also Spanish, and all the co-official languages in Spain. So we are very excited with this development that should be ready in a few weeks.
Amazing. That sounds amazing. 36 languages. So we get the impression Barcelona Supercompute leading in terms of the international scientific community, one of the world's leaders. What makes it a center of excellence in this area, in e-science?
So I would say that so we are, we are a research center. Okay, so as a research center, of course, we have the recognition every year of some of our researchers, of course, and also we are publishing a lot of research papers and reports on these big journals in the for the academic staff, no? But at the same time, we also have, demonstrated experience in different fields of applications coming from the industry as well. So, for example, we have the recognition of NVIDIA, this big new company that is developing GPUs. So we are a certified center as CUDA. So we are a CUDA center of excellence, no? For research and training programs related to GPU, which is related to computational technologies. Also by IBM, for example, to define hardware and software components for new generations of computers. The computers are growing and growing, and you need super experts to design all what is the software and hardware of these computers. And our technicians and our scientific people are very well known because of their expertise. And for example, by Microsoft, that we help them to design multi-core architectures of softwares for the next generation of mobile and also the desktop computers. So it's not only a matter of scientific recognition, but also the industry recognition, which makes BSC a very interesting combination of research center.
Part of it. Oh.
Yeah. So BSC and GSMA have decided to partner up to try and get together to try and look at how we can solve some of this AI language gap that we're seeing. It's a rapidly growing field. There's almost a different announcement regarding generative AI every single day. But from your perspective, what's some of the challenges that you're seeing, and maybe some of those opportunities in bridging that gap, particularly in those languages which are less widely spoken, like Catalan, for example?
Yeah, thank you. And we are super happy to work together with you on this AI language gap. So the first thing, it's important to understand the challenge that we are facing, its impact on the models and the applications, and actually how global the AI language gap is. So first of all, most systems are designed and tested in English because it's the only extremely high research language. The only language is considered to be extremely high research. There are other high research languages like Arabic, French, Japanese, German, Spanish, obviously, and Mandarin, where systems might perform quite well. But most of the 7,000 languages spoken worldwide, you mentioned that at the introduction, Rick, are considered to be mid-resource, low-resource, or even extremely low-resource languages in terms of digital data availability. And with this gap in data availability, it's very hard to train the systems. Therefore, the AI language gap refers to this disparity in the developing and applying AI technologies across different languages around the world. And the impact we can see is on the performance of the systems. The results will be not that accurate. So we might also observe biases, even cultural gaps. So because they will be trained in the information from other cultures, other territories, but not the local knowledge. And I would also emphasize the cybersecurity risks, because a lot of these models are tested and secured in English language, but they might be easier to attack in non-English systems, non-English languages. And last but not least, especially coming or working very closely with the public sector, the AI language gap has a huge impact on the digital gap as a whole, because if we are not able to have develop these systems in all the languages, some people will be excluded because they will not be able to interact with the AI-powered systems in their own language.
Yeah, that's, I think what struck me while we were on that visit was when we were talking about those languages, and it's everything like from Italian and other major languages which you would expect would be covered, but they're all going to be facing similar challenges, aren't they?
Yeah. The situation, and as we were saying, the challenge is widespread, and this is also why it's important that we share our knowledge as we are doing here, and we are teaming together with other countries and other territories that face similar challenges.
Sounds good. So, look, we talked about some of the projects that you guys are involved with. Specifically, what we'll do, we'll share in the chat some of the links to some of the projects that you guys are specifically working with. Project AINA is obviously one of the key ones that we're partnering with. So when we zoom in a little bit, Project AINA, the Catalan story, has been a significant initiative. We've obviously partnered with you guys. Maybe you can share a little bit more around what are the goals, what is Project AINA, and what we're trying to achieve there.
Yes, of course. I mean, we love very much Project AINA because it has been the first one, and it is, from this project, I think that we can grow a lot, trying to invest in these minority languages on artificial intelligence. So the goals, so the project has been funded by our government, for the regional government, and the government was very committed with the language, but we also have the advantage of the commitment not only from the government but also from the civil society, because there are a lot of resources coming from civil society in Catalan that help us in building all this ecosystem that we are building. Okay, so the goals are to promote and to guarantee the existence of the Catalan language in the digital society. Okay, so this is the first one. It's a matter of promotion and guarantee the presence of this language. Also to develop like a language economy, because we are convinced that once we have this language in the digital world, we'll develop new companies, new startups that will provide new solutions on this language. Okay, and also we have as a goal to guarantee that there is an availability of tools, artificial intelligence tools for the public sector because there is a strong need in public sector to use this kind of tools in Catalan right now. Okay, so this is why we are working in a complete different way of building this kind of activities, which is that we are building an open infrastructure which means that we have models of text, of audios, of different tools open to the society. And they are open because we want this new sector to develop new applications based on all the tools that we are developing. It's very important to underline that all our approach is open and ready to be used for the sector that we consider we are pushing through this initiative.
Yeah. I think this is one of the important things that we're talking about democratizing AI. We want AI to be for the many, not for the few, right? And this is where it's such an important piece around the open AI, lowercase, in that instance. But it is about open models, open data, and open infrastructure in order to help address some of the challenges. So, 100%. In terms of the big project, how do we bring it down to scale? Sort of like the impact on the local community, maybe, just as we're zooming in a little bit there.
Yeah, Mariona already highlighted a little bit that it's a project involving many actors, so the impact is very wide and diverse. I would say on the language and cultural front, there are a good number of organizations like Softcatalà, Òmnium Cultural, or Fundació.cat, foundation.cat, that are addressing the Catalan language needs on the digital space from different perspectives. So AINA project has been a way to coordinate, or an opportunity to coordinate the efforts in a collaborative way. Therefore, AINA is not only a Barcelona Supercomputing project, or not even a Catalan government project. It's a Catalan society project, and we are really happy and proud of the involvement of all these entities. That's the first impact. We're also working on this technology transfer with a well-known startups ecosystem, and also with the system integrators and the hyperscalers. But I would emphasize startups and system integrators that are providing services in Catalan on the digital space, with AI and without AI. So they are very enthusiastic with the project, and they want to use all the infrastructure, the models, the data set that we are sharing. And on the government part, obviously, the division of the government has been the one promoting the AINA project, and other divisions or other parts of the government are using the resources of AINA project to move forward. And we are developing some proof of concepts involving some speech recognition, some text summarization, so to make the administration more efficient and to guarantee that it happens in a Catalan language and also in open solutions. And last but not least, we are also a research center, as has been highlighted before. So there is an impact on the scientific community, and we like to do open science, but also science in the open. So we explain our developments as we go, and we publish as many papers as possible. And I would recommend last week or 2 weeks ago, in a good number of members of the language technology unit here from Barcelona Supercomputing Center, they went to Torino, where there was a biannual, very important conference called LREC Calling. I will be sharing the link here on the chat if you want to get the papers. So and the impact is also by sharing in the open space. So at Hugging Face, at GitHub, at Zenodo, and other like archive or like hubs, all our models and data sets for others to reuse and remix.
That's fantastic. And just thinking can see the impact in Catalonia, and you can see how the broader community is getting involved. Obviously, we've now started working with VEON. VEON is a major player in the telecommunications space and digital space for services around the world. What are the next steps in the collaboration with them, and what do you hope to achieve through the partnership?
First of all, we're extremely happy through this AINA alliance, how it has evolved in this partnership with VEON. We met the team in Barcelona during the Mobile World Congress 24, some months ago, and we actually want to publicly thank the GSMA to play this connector role in such a modest, I would say, and efficient way. So it's the connector role in the industry is very, very important. So thank you for that. With VEON at this stage, again, as we speak, because we were doing one session even this morning, we are learning how to share our practices, how to share our tools and lessons learned through this journey by developing the AINA models, by organizing a series of short webinars on topics related to data strategy, something called continual pre-training or models evaluation. And we will probably continue with other topics that will be familiar with the people who are working on LLMs, like instructions and alignment of these models. What we're also learning, as the Catalan context is very specific for the very, all the activism around the language and the culture, that will not be the same in other contexts, and also because we have access to high performance computing resources through the supercomputer. So we are learning how to do this knowledge transfer in an effective way, so that it can be reused in the context and the reality of Kazakhstan, and also how to make this replicable for other operators. And the other thing we are learning is that the AINA project was started, as we said, from the public sector, from the government, and this project is starting from the mobile network operator, so more from the private sector. And although the starting point is different, it seems that we're going to reach almost the same results. So it's a very interesting learning journey.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And I guess, hopefully through this partnership, we can work out how to make it more, how to deliver it in the best way, and then maybe get more and more people involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, anybody who's interested, please do let us know.
I think that's one of the things that kind of makes me so excited about this is it's not just Barcelona in Catalan. This applies to every operator that's out there. 7,000 languages means that operators who have been connecting voice for the last 30 years, they're going to be the ones who are hopefully going to help connect AI to all of these voices and very much so bring AI on the journey for that alignment piece. So should be good. All right. What are we doing for time? So I think we're going to overrun probably a few minutes, but hopefully that should be okay for those of you that are joining. How do you see the role as integration between high performance computing and telecoms? Because those are two kind of like very, very different worlds. How do you see those two kind of coming together, and what role BSC might shape within that?
So I see that we as a center, we are a first, we are a first step, a necessary step that you need to build the models and to build the tools that finally have to be applied in different business contexts. And one very important business sector is telecommunications and phone operators, because there is a lot of text, a lot of voice, a lot of at the end you are how do you say managing data that can be treated and can be synthesized and can be used to train or to do some specific, to produce specific tools that could be useful for your business and for your sector. So it's like it's a win-win cooperation, because at the end we need each other, because you need the sector need tools that already have been trained, and we need business cases and business applications that to make our models more robust and more powerful.
No, and I would also add that the role of the Barcelona Supercomputing Center in this collaboration with BEON and GSMA is also to keep the mobile network operators in the driving seat, because this is on this transition on using AI. It's important that we are conscious on what we are doing. So, as a society, there is an important difference between when we adopt a technology and when we adapt to a technology. So the important thing is that when we adopt a technology, we stay in control. And this is what we are trying to do with the open solutions, open data, transparency. We decide, we know exactly how it works because we are building it together. We can decide when to use it, how to use it, at what speed, in our own terms and conditions. The challenge is when some companies will push technology to us, and then we are forced to adapt to this new technology, and we lose control. We are not anymore in the driving seat in this transition. We are in the back seat. We are just passengers, and we are passive observers. So, and that's a risky position, especially at the speed that the technology is going. So, we need to have this critical thinking, which doesn't mean to be critic with the technology. It means to have like a critical stance. It means to have a perspective, and with this project, we are in the journey. We are helping, or want to help the MNOs to stay in control by sharing our experience and best practices on how open solutions can provide the best way forward to move on this AI and language technology space.
Yeah, and that's fantastic. And I think that focus on open is going to be key, because obviously there's so many languages out there. There's certainly so many operators there that can support and really give access to all of that content. I think in terms of wrapping up, I think we're coming towards the end. Is there any significant takeaways that you want our listeners to take away from this session in terms of the key items? And then I think, Faisal, if you want to just see if we've got any questions from the audience. If there is anybody with any questions, please do post them now, and then we can see whether we can get them answered for you. So, any key?
Yes, as takeaways, but maybe I'm just reiterating some of the already highlighted ideas, but they are important that this AI language gap is not a niche phenomenon. It's a very global phenomenon that I would say it's widely underestimated. And as BSC, we are happy to be a key contributor to address this gap with global collaborations like the one we are doing with GSMA around designer projects. And the other thing is what I just mentioned about being conscious that this is, despite all these hectic news with constant demonstrations, new products, new services, I would say be aware that this is a long-term game. It's going to take a while to transition and to fully adopt these technologies. So we will keep pushing for the open solutions, open systems as the best way forward for this effective and ethical development of the AI products and services.
And for me, I want also to underline that I mean, this is also an opportunity, a business opportunity. All these technologies produce and will be a source of a new economy and the development of new companies and new startups and also new business adopting these technologies and trying to make business out of it. So this is important also to keep in mind.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Thank you so much, guys. Right, so we've got one of those ask me anything questions. So feel free to ask any questions. This is the bit that Albert and Mariana were most nervous about, but we're testing the concept. So, like I say, any questions, just whack them in the chat, and we can get around to it. There's a couple that have come in. I'm going to go with this one. Can you comment on the challenges for languages that do not have adequate share representation on the web itself? How can resource-constrained communities address these challenges?
Yeah, we were mentioning before that the challenge is that the lack of availability of enough data. We've talked about trillions of tokens or words at the beginning of the conversation. You don't need that scale to develop a model. There are some techniques like discontinuous pre-training with less data. You can still adjust the model to your own language, but it's important that languages have a digital archive. Maybe it's not a web. Maybe you can go to like the national library or the national newspapers or the public television or the public radio also for voice, not only for text. So these are ways. And there are some experimentations on something called synthetic data. So on the basis of a real data, some people are creating artificial data that seems to be quite valid, but the exact results of using this synthetic data is not fully understood yet. But again, the challenge is better addressed if we go together, and this is why we have this partnership and this activity.
I think that's one of the most important things with this whole piece that I'm kind of picking up is data. Quality of the data is so important, and that's one of the reasons we're looking at the partnerships. One of the things that attracted us so much to Barcelona Supercompute, the curated data sets that you guys are pulling together, best in class, IP free, none of the issues that some of the other players in the market are coming across. There's another question that's kind of come in. This is a good one. What inspired you to pursue a career in supercomputing and AI? What's been the most rewarding aspect of your journey so far? Mariana, you mentioned on the call earlier, curing languages and saving climate change and all of those things. So it must be quite a cool place to work at.
I mean, now for me, and we cannot split supercomputers for and artificial intelligence. It goes together. So without supercomputers, you don't have artificial intelligence because you need a huge amount of computer power to have powerful artificial intelligence. So this is the main challenge. So this is very important to keep in mind that once, of course, there is data as well. So we need also data, and data. It's very important to have this quality data and resources to train. But it's important to keep in mind that we also need machines, and machines are now prepared for that because we didn't have the machines before of this size and this power that we have right now. And this is very important. This is why high-performance computing centers become artificial intelligence centers right now.
Yeah, on my side, my interest on AI, not specifically on supercomputing, but on AI is coming from my previous work on the future of work, where it has been one of the areas where the impact of AI was more prominent and fast. So I could see the positive and the negative impacts of AI in the development of the future of work, especially how is it being used around the workers in the task and how the work teams are managed and so on. So for that, I had the interest on moving into the manufacturing, let's say, of these AI systems and to guarantee that could be done in an ethical and responsible way on one side, and also being a reference center that enables international collaboration, because this is something that it's very hard to do from a small organization on your own. I think these global collaborations through this agreement and other activities we are doing at the Barcelona Supercomputing Center are key also to move forward on this AI with a fair, ethical digital future.
Yeah.
I think that's a good note to kind of leave it on. With that being said, I know that we've got some more questions coming through in the comments and that side of things. We'll try and address those via email, or maybe Albert or Mariana can write a blog post for us, hopefully addressing some of those. This, as I say, this is one of the first sessions that we're doing around this. So, any comments, any feedback, certainly welcome. With that being said, Rich, any final words?
None really. I think it's just been an absolute pleasure to have this session. It's been, nice fun to hear some real, it's not like a normal webinar where there's slides that control what everybody says. We got the ability to really get under the hood of what's been going on. So that's been quite good fun. I'm really looking forward to doing more of these in the future. So I think, FaZe, we've probably got a webpage to come and follow up on if people want to get involved in it. And then we should have next one of these spotlights next month, I think. And we may be talking about space. So that could be quite interesting.
Should be good. All right, for now, thanks very much, guys, and we'll speak to you soon.
Cheers.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.